Kלים Perik Aleph Mishnah Daled. We're now coming to the last Mishnah dealing with the levels of Avois HaTumas. These are the most chomodika ones, and up to now we did Zov. A Zov was Matame, B'maga, Uvamasa, and Tachas Evan Mesama, and a Zov was also able to make a medras, to make a mishka v'moishev. And if you remember, we said when we were speaking about a Zov, we are including Zov and Zova, Nida v'yeledes. But the Mishnah is telling us, L'ma'ala min hazov Zova. The Zova, the female Zov, actually has one extra chumrah even above the Zov, Nida and Yeledes. Shehi metama es boya. Zova has a chumrah. When we say Zova, who had in a Nida, has a chumrah that if she has beer with somebody, then the man, by having had beer with the Zova or the Nida, actually he himself becomes an Av Hatuma, She metama es boyala. Whereas a Zov who has beer with a woman, the woman does not become a special Avatuma, she just becomes the regular Rishon Latuma, having had touched or carried the Zov. L'ma'ala min hazov a shu metame b'bia. A Metzoira is actually in many ways more chomor than the Zov and the Zova, and in some ways less chomor. But remember, we said before that many of these lamalos actually, they only mean lamala regarding one particular aspect. So they're lamala in one aspect and lamata in another aspect. They have a way, Metzoira has a lamala in that they are able to be metame b'bia just by being in the same room with the Makabel becomes Tomei, without Maga, without Masa. This is similar to Tumas Oelames, but not as strict as Oelames. In two ways, the way a Metzoira is Matame B'Bia is less Chomor than the way a Mes is Matame B'Oil. First of all, for a Metzoira to be Matame B'Bia, the Metzoira has to be stationary. If you were just to walk through the room, nothing would become Tomei. Also, in the case of a Metzoira, even a stationary Metzoira, a small Mechitza helps, even 10 Tvachim high, helps to make a Mechitza in the room, and the other side will not become Tomei. Whereas, of course, in the case of a Mes, the whole thing becomes Tomei, as long as you have a Pesach, a Tefach, or Tefach Pesach between them, it's maybe Tumah from one part of the oil to the other part of the oil. But the Metzoira, although he's mentioned here as being L'ma'ala min hazov, actually has two ways, and he's more kuladik than the Zov. One is his Mishka v'Moishev, although he's able to make Mishka v'Moishev in the same way as Zov and Zova is, his Mishka v'Moishev is not as strong, and also a Metzoira, in the case, let's say, Metzeras, is not Matame as Boyala, whereas a Zova and a Nida are Matame Boil. And the Mishnah carries on. Now we're going up from an Avatuma to the last two, which are Avi Avois Hatuma, and we're dealing with Tumas Meis. L'ma'ala min ha'Metzoira etzem kisoira shu matame Tumas Shiva. Of course, an etzem kisoira is more kuladik than the Metzoira, in the fact that he's only metame b'maga v'masa and not metame b'oil, because an etzem kisoira, a small amount of bone, is metame only b'maga v'masa, not b'oil. However, it is a Tumas Meis, and the Tumas Meis has the ability to be metame, the makabel, for a full shiva, full Tumas Shiva, and included in that is that when the person who picks up Tumah from a Mes wants to become Toir, not only does he go to the mikveh, he has to have Azar, Gimel Vazayin. Chomer Mikulam, and the most Chomer, of course, is the Meis himself, Shu Matame B'Oyel. The Meis has all the dinim of Etzem Kasora, Bes Matame B'Maga V'Masa Uv Oyel, although, again, a Meis is not Matame Mishka V'Moishev, but is Matame B'Oyel, Mash Ein Kulam Matamin. So the Meis is really an Avi Avois Hatuma, and that's the end of the lists of all the Avois